rich and conflict-ridden continent of the world.
That was perfect. He bowed as the audience came in. We did cut it short. We've got another. It's about 10 more minutes. If you do want to hear the entire interview, that'll be available on YouTube on our channel tomorrow. But for now, we've got some more requests only to get to. You'll also be able to hear the sample.
Let's do the sample.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do the sample now. It's not all that long. Let's hear it, Ahmed. I think he's getting it ready. This scene comes a little bit later in the book, but the piece of violin music that you heard at the beginning of the show is the piece of music that is here. So now you're going to hear it with the narration. Tiny, cautious notes jumped from my instrument, bumbling to and fro, as if testing the waters. As though satisfied with what they found, the notes solidified, and I doubled down, elaborating on the rhythm, only this time with a bit more self-assurance and confidence. Even with closed eyes, I could feel the smile spreading on my face as the song came into being. It barely registered in my mind, but it was oh so fitting that my subconscious should drag up a counterpoint to the vibrant, happy tune. For a while, the curious, life-affirming music was almost overwhelmed by a louder, placid, negative melody. Every time the living tune tried to elope onto a new, exciting foray, the counterpoint returned, keeping the melody in check and within bounds. Little by little, however, the balance shifted, and I let the tiny spark grow stronger while the dominant tune played on, unchanged. On they danced as the small embers built into a fire, burning to be free, to live. In the end, the counterpoint was completely drowned out, as the once so tiny spark of happiness swelled into a loud, triumphant crescendo of pure, unadulterated desire for freedom. As the song ended with a long, joyous, drawn-out note, I smiled. Take that, Copenhagen Business School. Happiness will be free. When my attention returned to the crowd before me, their reactions showed nothing. A few people were looking my way, but nobody seemed to pay my performance any attention. Now, I don't look at myself as a vain person. Still, these last few months had built my self-confidence to the point where I expected at least a grain of recognition when I played to the fullest. Indifference. That was a tough pill to swallow. Discounting the idea that I was a worse player than I believed, I ended with the theory that the crowd was so used to bards playing for them that they'd started seeing it as nothing more than background noise. That thought disturbed me more than it had any right to. Like people who don't care what kind of music they put on because they just don't like silence, this was wrong. I needed to do something to rekindle an enthusiasm for music. I needed to... cheat, probably. Well, what could it hurt? I moved to the edge of the stage, leaving me as close as possible to the crowd, and started playing. Nothing too intricate this time. I ended up with one of the first classical pieces my teacher taught me, the William Tell Overture. It's jolly, catchy, and you can make it sound impressive without too much effort. That last part was crucial, as I started using my affect emotions spell while playing. Not all the time, on and off for half a minute at a time at most. In part because I didn't want to run out of mana again, but also to ensure that I caught as many as possible, spreading my influence over the entire break. The desired effect? Joy. I simply nudged a bit to try to shine a little light into people's days, make them walk away with a little spring in their step. I felt sure it was working too. This time, as I focused more on the spell and less on the music itself, I kept an eye on people, and I did believe that I was able to influence a lot of them. People still came and left as they started and finished their break, but when they left, it did seem like there was a little extra. A flushed smile on a face here, or a spring in the step there. Before I knew it, the break was over and everybody left. A single male half-orc was still there, laying on his back on a bench, drumming his fingers to the music. When I stopped playing, he gathered his things with rushed motions and ran for one of the wings.
Dude.
Very
Nice.
So
Yes. Yeah,
moist.
thank you.
we had a question in here. What is a reason
Sure.
to get the Bard series for someone anti-Bard as a class?
Oh my goodness. Get the book and root for the bad guys, but you might be disappointed.
Well, I will say that I always attempt to make bards work in video games or RPGs, even though they typically don't. Like I always want to try. I always want to give that a shot.
I think you really need to be in the right party to make it work.
Yeah.
Because they're really a support class, and if you're not vibing character-wise with the other characters role playing, and then also just with their combat, you're not going to be able to do much.
But yeah, thanks for interviewing him, man. And again, that the full interview is going to be available on our channel. So I'm gonna go watch that. Maybe we should post about it on Facebook since we weren't able to finish it here.
Definitely. Yeah. I'll do a post tomorrow.
At least post that segment. So okay, so just a couple more things. We can do another. We have one more request, and it was a tie. And even though I really would like to do the whole thing, we're running short on time here. So let's just do this for 5 minutes. So okay,
Jason J. Nugent.
The gong.
S-word.
The gong that Ahmed uses is not Foley. That is the signal. That is the signal to stop.
That's the cue.
Okay, so
I thought you were gonna say it's an actual gong. It's like
Yeah, that's not fake. He has that.
all right. So
I wouldn't be surprised.
Next is Sword of the Moon. I emailed to that shit to you guys. S-word of the moon.
Fighting evil by
ooh,
daylight.
and now this one has
Is
me on the cover.
Is that also me?
It does?
That's
Hold on,
me
let me
still,
see.
right?
That is also Lori.
All right. Just checking.
Yes.
That was back in my man bun
No,
days.
that's
at my
actually David Bowie.
It is David Bowie.
That's David Bowie.
Sword of
It's
the
my-
Moon King.
It's my love
Sword
child with David Bowie.
of the Moon King.
S-word of the moon.
Oh, yes.
She's got the S-word.
Like a tiger of snow.
Like a tiger.
Oops.
He's got his S-word on the moon.
I
think I was hearing a little Talking Heads there, too.
Than these white stretch pants.
S-word on the moon.
You guys, I promise my package is more beautiful than this.
Can we do this entire scene? We're just gonna
Bowies.
trade paragraphs
Everybody's Bowie.
as Bowie,
Just take
a Bowie song.
I'm gonna win this
Bowie.
one. I'm gonna win this one.
Is this a competition?
Okay.
Real question.
Yes, it is. It is now.
Excuse me.
All right.
Why was I not
So
informed?
we're gonna go.
Well, you
we're
won
gonna
last
go.
time, all right? So
We're gonna go counterclockwise. We're gonna make Jeff put his money where his mouth is. He's gonna start us off with "Slowly the Darkness Lifted," and he's gonna do it as a Bowie song.
Spoiler alert.
And then
Bowie song.
Gary's gonna come in with "Whoa, look at this place." Annie with "He Stood." That's a long paragraph.
Okay.
And then we're just gonna keep going in a clockwise motion, I
Okay.
suppose.
So we're actually singing in David Bowie's.
Oh, it's well. I mean,
I mean,
Yeah, I
that
guess-
sounds,
funnier.
that sounds
what are
even
we?
more
What's the
fun.
criteria?
It's funny.
yes, sing, talking,
As
singing
David Bowie?
Yeah.
as David Bowie. Yes.
Oh, so we
yes.
just take
Okay.
a line, paragraph, whatever's the next. Okay, cool.
Yes,
Cool, cool.
whatever's the next.
Okay,
break.
so yeah, all right. So, but the breaks are like there's like a paragraph and then a sentence, and
Yeah.
then a paragraph.
Yes.
So you want us to do paragraph and a sentence, then the next person?
You know what? Let's just do paragraph and
At
then
every stop, yeah, let's just change.
Every stop.
Okay,
Just keep it simple. Some will be shorter, some will be longer.
All right, ready for this? Okay, so this is one more time. S-word of the Moon King
Sword of the Moon King.
by Jason J. Nugent.
S-word for 400, Alex.
And in the style of David Bowie. Everybody ready?
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it.
Slowly the darkness lifted, replaced with a stark whiteness. A frigid wind blew across his face, snow pelting his skin. He wrapped his arms tight around himself, and then the heart appeared. He was in the game. Whoa!
Oh.
Whoa, look at this place.
He stood in the valley, surrounded by snow-covered mountains, with one rising high above the rest. The sun attempted to poke through the clouds overhead, but found little success. Evergreen forests rested at the foot of the mountains, some snaking up the rocky surface towards the peaks. Small villages dotted at the mountains. Smoke rising from the chimneys and a fire visible from this distance.
Wow! Caleb turning in all directions.
He looked down at himself. He wore dark blue pants, a leather boots, and a white tunic, which at the moment did nothing to hold back the cold.
Okay, one more go. Are we doing one more?
Yes.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
a game, you'd think they'd make sure we didn't freeze in here. He thought. When the wind kicked up, he caught the scent of pine trees. My eyeball is burning. Woo! Sorry, guys.
Happened to your eye.
I don't know.
Well,
My
I was
eyeball
looking
is
for that in
burning.
the script.
Bowie's
Yeah, me
revenge.
too.
When the wind
You think
kicked
Bowie
up,
would
he
burn
caught
eyeball
the
stop him?
scent of pine trees mixed with snow. Hey, they'd make all of this feel so real. He shivered, holding his strong arms across a wide, stout chest. Dude, I'm ripped.
Something shrieked in the distance, attracting his attention.
Okay, now, don't come at me, little fella. I don't think I could defend myself if I had to.
Accessing the HUD, he scanned through the various sections, checking to make sure everything was as it should be on the message icon. A little number one appeared. He stared at it for 2 seconds, and the message menu opened up, giving him access to its features. The message was from the Ceres Horizon Mining Company. He stared at it for 2 seconds and it opened up.
I feel like you're being Bjork. You're being Bjork.
Damn it! Damn it!
Oh,
Bjorky.
you're Bowie and Bjork's love child. Just like
Dear
I have
Blade
that.
Hawk.
That's what
Thank you
weird is on
so
the cover of
much.
The book. It's Bowie and Bjork's love child.
Bjork.
Bowie and
Queen.
Bjork.
Bjork.
Bjorky.
For trusting the company with... Okay, I gotta get back into it.
Bork.
Sorry, I pulled you out with my Bjork.
Get
I
back
do
into
a
your
pretty good
Bowie.
Bjork.
Dear Blade Hawk, I'm just gonna do a couple lines here. Dear Blade Hawk, thank you so much for trusting the company with your well-being. As you know, you are now standing within the Sword of the Moon King game. A fully immersive experience, unlike anything else ever devised.
Those really do sound pretty close to
Divine.
Bowie lyrics.
Yeah, Sword of the Moon game could be a
Sword
Bowie
of the
album.
Moon King. The Sword
Yeah,
of the Moon
did you guys-
King game.
Did you guys try Bowie's acoustic
Yours is pretty good,
EP,
Jessica.
Sword of the Moon game? You know,
Sword of the Moon King game.
before he picked Ziggy Stardust, he was
Oh.
considering Blade Hawk as his.
Oh.
Right. Yeah. No. That people didn't know this.
So, S Word of the Moon King by Jason J. Nugent.
Yeah, I'm sure you got a
it's an
really
RPG.
specific
Say
sampling.
Sword of the Moon King. We'll just say it right once. in
Okay,
case
Sword
anybody
of the
wants
Moon
to
King.
actually
Jason
know.
J. Nugent.
Yeah,
Go
are
check
we
it
gonna
out
do the Bjork
on
version or
Amazon.
what?
I don't know how good it is, but if you're David Bowie, you're gonna love it.
Oh yeah.
He's
So-
dead.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Yeah, Jeff.
Yeah, you didn't need
Did
to go
anybody
that
not
far.
know that he is
You didn't
dead?
need to go that far, okay? All right? You just didn't.
He will
I think
listen
everyone's
from
still in denial
heaven.
about him being dead, and it's too soon.
What?
He's gone to space.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think also we don't quite believe it.
Yeah.
He did
I don't.
release that album
Where is Bowie?
after.
I'm
could
a
he-
black
how could-
star. I'm not
How
a
could-
porn star.
How could he release the album if he were dead?
I love David Bowie.
Really
I
makes
love,
you
I
think.
This is an all too blasphemy.
Use
Really
your
makes you
noodle.
think.
I
Makes
do
you think.
too.
It's a
Think.
great album. I do
Think
love that
people.
album.
Beautiful album. We love you, David Bowie.
We do. Thank you.
We
sir.
love you.
He's
Sir.
listening.
We love you too.
We love you, David Bowie.
All right. Last segment of the
Love you
night.
too.
And again, thank you guys so much for
the last
singing
one.
with us today. I hope you were all singing along with us in that last segment. And now we go to